What's up, y'all? We are live on YouTube. Again, we are live on Instagram, Station Head. So we're going to do the intro, and then y'all head over to YouTube. You want to get the topic, head over to YouTube. Head over to YouTube, put in the Wiley Show, and we are here. We're back with another episode. We have a lot to discuss. Okay, let's first open up with introduction. So today I got up. I said I'm going to City Hall. You know, this will be Brandon Johnson first City Hall event. So I'm going to go to City Hall and see Brandon Johnson. This will be his first event. So here I am, got dressed, put on my slacks, put on my gray shirt, put on my bow tie. And before I did all that, took me a hot shower, brushed my teeth, ate some breakfast. Mom drove me at the train station to head to the city. And I get there and everything is fine. I get there and took the Uber to about 4 minutes to City Hall. And I get to City Hall, go in the lobby, and I say, hey, I'm here for the city council meeting. Oh, that's not today. That's on the 24th. I'm like, what? Now, wait a minute. Oh, no, sir. That's not today. That is on the 24th. So I immediately wasn't upset because I said I'm here. I was able to, call. That's Wednesday. So I had everything messed up. I have to change my train ticket, not no plane. That the producers paid for the train ticket. So I'm going to pay the difference to switch it. But someone paid for the train. Okay. And so I'm going to switch it for like next week. Because we have all, already, because we don't do planes, we do trains, okay? Unless we are in like first class type of situation, unless we first class or in the front. Now let's break that down. The reason why I don't like Frontier is because they don't have the big seats. When you do Spirit, you can pick those front seats in the front. Anybody fly Spirit, they call them the big seat with extra leg room. You got to pay extra. You got leg room, you can move around, you're not crunch. Because I took Spirit and I got a regular seat, it's bad on my kneecaps. My knees is directly on the back of the chair, and that's too painful for me. I already have a condition, mouth cerebral palsy. It's just too much on my body. So I'm not doing that. So somebody said Frontier. So I took Frontier, got the front seat. They don't have a big seat. And so my knees was up on the thing, and I was squished. I'm a big man. So taking Spirit or, Southwest is good. They got enough where when I'm comfortable on Southwest, but for a fact, I know for sure that, my knees is definitely is good on the Spirit in the front. So that's why I take anybody if you want to gift me in your flight, you got to do them big seats in the front. We got to pay extra and then we get to go. But Frontier, don't even give it to them. I'm not going. Okay. That's why we take trains, because the trains is a lot of leg room, and you got to worry about going to all that security. You got to worry about checking your bags. You could bring 2 bags with you, and you can eat on the train. They serve food on the train. You could bring your own food. It's just so convenient. You can use restroom. It's just so convenient, even though it takes you a day to get to where you got to go, but it's just convenient. You can sleep. It's just convenient. You can think. You can read books. I get most of my reading on, what I'm saying, on the train. I could read all my books, catch up on my books. Like I read Jennifer Lewis' book on the train. I read it in a couple of hours. Another book that I'm going to read it on the train because you can't go nowhere. You just got to read. So when I was downtown, I met this couple. Mother and son. This mother and her son. They pretty much own this magazine called The South Side Drive. Chicago welcomes the new first family. And it's about the South Side. Shout out to all the people over there. Shout out to the publisher. Her name is Yvette Moyo. And so it's all about the South Side. I didn't even know that they're opening up the Regal Theater. So make sure if you're on the South Side, tell them that the Wiley Show sent you. They gave me a copy of it. It was free. Of course, they got advertisers in here as well. So I went there and I started talking to the guy about Black media. And it was just amazing conversation. Talked to the police officers there. And then I said, well, let me wait for Brandon Johnson because they got the cones out and Brandon Johnson pulls up right there. And I said, let me wait. So we waited out there for about a good hour. We waited out there literally for a good hour waiting for, we're literally waiting for I didn't get a chance to speak to Eva. I didn't get a chance to speak, or I saw one past me, but we was waiting for Brandon Johnson because we was going to try to get an improv interview. So I'm just waiting. And I said, okay, I don't think he's coming. So, or if he is, he's probably going to come in the evening. So I said, I might as well get back to where I was at. So I was calling other people and calling the press office, trying to get my press credential. They added me to the list so I can ask questions and be in the room, because everybody keeps saying new black media, but you got to do the work. You got to understand the rules. You got to read the rules, because I don't want to be escorted out. Ask questions. Like I asked, can I bring a little bag to put my camera equipment in there? Of course, ask all questions. Is it okay that I can record the city council meeting? Is it okay? So you ask these type of questions, because I don't want to get kicked out like some people. I don't want to get kicked out by breaking the rules and get banned. So I want to make sure that we comply with all the rules. And I ask questions. And I get on the phone. And then one thing I've learned, that if you call the city in the morning, you get somebody on the phone. You just call when it first open up, somebody's going to answer the phone. The same thing with the press office. So we do this, and we was connecting and all these type of things, because we want to do all of this and have an amazing situation. And it's just great. I love it. I just love having the conversation with people in the public. So we, ask questions. And of course, I see this attractive guy that don't speak English, right? So I couldn't interview him. So the Lyft picked us up, and we're looking for the Uber, like the Lyft come and pick me up. She picked me up, and she just started complaining about the migrant issue. And she said, I know about your channel. And I was cheesing when you know about my channel. And I listened to her complain, and I said, I'm collecting all this data, because she said something that struck me. She said, because of the crime, because if you're giving people no resources, you're giving them no houses, no housing, they're going to commit crime. And the gangs are going to thrive on those immigrants that are coming in, those migrants that are coming in with no resources. And already we're talking about the South and West Side of Chicago that is trying to make a comeback, but they're so tied down with crime. And then you add it on the situation. So it's a lot that is going on the South Side. And she talked about how New Life, how Pastor Hannah is giving some of the migrants jobs. So you do have the church community doing something, but the federal government must intervene. And this is why it is our job as media to continue to name drop President Biden and say, Mayor Johnson, what is the conversation with you in the White House? Because they must give you the federal resources. Now, he did say, President Biden did tell him his job is difficult, it's more difficult than the presidency. But he must get federal intervention, because a lot of these cities are, going through it, because they have to house these people and feed these people. And the city are dealing with people, you're dealing with political backlash, because people feel like, oh my gosh, you're giving them an apartment and paid by the taxpayers, or they're getting services, they're getting medical treatment and all of that. And then you got people that hospitals have shut down, and some of the trauma units have shut. They can't really get any care, like they have to travel outside the community. You have a lot of communities with food deserts, where grocery stores have shut down. Whole Foods in Inglewood shut down. Walmart on the south side of Chicago have shut down. So a lot of the things that the community depended on is shutting down. And here we go. We have migrants flooding the community, and the city out of the woodwork is coming up with millions of dollars. And this is why it's our job to call it out and to question. Now, I don't care if they would have got Paul or whomever. They would have done for the migrants. I mean, it is what it is. They would have done for them, right? So whoever would have gotten in, the same thing that Brenda is doing now, housing them, Paul would have did the same thing. So it doesn't matter who would have got in there. They still would have been doing it. This is a crisis all over the country. You got parts of New York. New York City is dealing with that as well, with all of the migrants that are coming in New York. So this is an issue all over the country. So this is not just a Chicago problem. This is a lot of northern states. And we just got word from the city that they're bringing more migrants to the city of Chicago. They're busing migrants weekly, about 5 to 10 to 15,000 of them weekly to the city. And so they can't deal with it. They can't deal with all these people. But I understand why the governor is doing it, because he feel like, and I understand why Governor Gray is doing it, because he said, why should Texas pay for this? Why should we be the only state to pay for it? And y'all are saying up north that we are a sanctuary city. We are a sanctuary city. We welcome people. Y'all should never said that. And I guess Governor Gray was like, okay, well, let me tell my staff We're going to bust these migrants to the quote unquote sanctuary cities because this is what y'all say. Y'all welcome people and all of this. He said, okay, let me bust them up north. And so that's what it is. And so now they're saying, oh, no, don't bring no more people because we can't afford it. Well, what do you think Texas taxpayers, they don't want to be the only one filling this, paying this bill. Now, what Governor Greg and also all governors that are dealing with this crisis should demand that the federal government intervene. And most people in the Congress, it's Republicans. They are in power. They have the purse. Like the same thing that's going on in Illinois is run by Democrats. They have the budget. So they haven't passed the budget yet. So they have the purse. And this is why I tell my brothers and sisters to please understand about the federal, the local, your government. Let us know how the government operates. Because if you don't understand how the government operate, you be shocked. You be like, oh my gosh. And if you don't know, I try to get the information and try to bring the information to you and try to break it down so you will understand. I'm not the brightest bulb in the room, but I'm not the dumbest. Okay, there's still some brightness there. So with the state and with the federal, they can bring resources to help disperse the money. But my thing is this: we cannot forget. In my heart and my passion is with Black people. I'm not on that. We can't forget about the Black residents in Chicago that is for decades have been complaining that they're not getting their resources, that they're not getting the funding, that they're not getting the proper housing, that they're not getting. A lot of them want grocery stores with vegetables and with fruits and with all these things, and they're not getting it. And these are the complaints that I've talked to residents. I'm boots on the ground. They're on the ground. And so it's my job as media to actually be out there hearing both sides of the argument. And I understand the Republican side. They feel like, how are we going to pay for this? If we have letting these people flood in, the federal government have to intervene. But when I'm saying to the other side, to all sides, y'all must band together and tell the Congress to say, hey, y'all got to write the check. If we can send millions of dollars to parts of Ukraine and other parts of the world, we must spend money to handle this problem because it is a crisis. And the media keeps saying, oh, it's not a crisis. It is a crisis. I'm on the ground. I see the crisis. We had a lady that was a Lyft driver. She said the embassy of those countries that they're coming from, the line is around the block. And they are limited. They have very limited resources. So this is a crisis. The issue is mainstream media, they're so focused on 2024. I'm not focused on 2024 right now. We're focused on 2023. Well, I was focused on 2024. So I'm laser focused on the local level, on the city level, because it's affecting many of the people. And the people that I talk to out here on the south and west side of Chicago, all parts of Chicago, they're saying, hey, we're going through. Now, I have a suggestion, and it's a lot of empty space downtown. Then if you just want to put people in the city, then house them downtown. Why are we just housing them in underserved communities that got high crime? The schools are just not good in some parts of the south and west side in these low income areas. And why are we bringing much of a burden? And already the residents are saying the police don't even protect us already. And now you're bringing in more strangers, and it's just an issue. And then the violence is going to come up. And I feel like they're doing this on purpose because a lot of us, and we need to do a better job, we complain among ourselves, but we don't go. So we will see for a fact how many of us from the south and west side are going to city council. Now, if you go to the city council meeting on Wednesday, you got to get there at 9:30 a.m. The reason why I say you have to get there at 9:30 a.m. to register if you want to address the city council. So you just can't show up and get the mic and start talking. It is a process. So you show up at 9:30, you register, then you can address it. And whatever you're going through, whether you want to talk about the migrants, or whether you want to talk about affordable housing, or whether you want to talk about you want more police officers on your block, or you want to talk about more grocery stores, that is the time that you do that. Who is that calling me? Hello? Okay, child. Like, why are you calling me now? Like, I'm live. Okay? I'm live. Hello?
Hello, darling. Who's filing for bankruptcy and getting called?
Oh, I'm live right now.
You're live. Are you filing for bankruptcy?
I'm live right now.
Okay, but you're not filing for
I'm
bankruptcy.
live right now. So whatever question you have, I'm live.
Okay, honey.
Okay. We live. Like, why you? That's what I say. I have to charge people because they just be blowing this phone up. I have to charge. I don't. Anyway, so we have to understand that it's a very serious situation when it comes to the city. It's a very serious situation, and we must address the issue, and that's why we must participate in the problem. So yes, I'm going to say it again. I participate. I'm on boots on the ground. This is what I am. I'm on the ground. I'm doing this and doing this. And let me say this about the phone call. Y'all call me after the show. Do not call me if you're not giving $1. Okay? Call into the show. I don't want to talk to you after the show. I don't want to see it, know about your kids. I do not care unless you are giving. We have a phone line. Bring all the topics. Do not try to, I don't want to talk to you offline. I'm not going to talk to you offline. If you're not giving a coin, don't call me. Okay? All right? My time is money. Some of y'all got a lot of issues. Y'all just want to just talk. So if you want my time, Cash App, last 4 your number, and I'll talk to you on the phone. Okay? But just calling me all that, I've been stopped that. So no. Okay? We got somebody that be calling me out from, I think, what was it, Alabama, some part of the South. She just want to talk, and I had to block her number. I said, ma'am, you can't keep calling my phone. You ain't got no coin, or you ain't dropping no tea, because you wasting my time. All right? Time is money. Okay? Okay? Time is money. I mean, the phone, like I have a whole show, no phone calls. Soon the show, my phone just blow up, and then you want to talk. I have a whole show. Talk about it on the show. Call in on the show, interview on the show, all that private offline conversation. If you ain't got $1 to give, don't call me. Okay? Join the prayer call so we can pray to give you some finances and help you in your finances. But all that talking, that's why you broke, because you're too busy gossiping. Go out there and work so you can give a check and give you 10% to the Wiley house. Okay? All right. So back to the city. So we must understand that we must cooperate and get involved into the city, because of whether you're not, and I told this lady, I said, and I said this verbatim, whether you participate in the process or not, whether you participate in the process or not, they still going to make decisions about you. You must participate in the process. I would tell you, I feel shame because I never, ever visit the city hall, and I lived in the city a long time. Out of all the years I lived in this city, I never visit City Hall, never stepped foot in the lobby of City Hall. And I'm embarrassed by that. But I'm glad that I have sense enough now to say, okay, I got to be a part of the process. And if I never visit or step foot in the City Hall, I know a lot of people in this city haven't done it. Some people haven't done it, especially on the South and West Side. So we must participate in the process. And whatever you at, we must participate. We got a couple of more months. We're getting our credit together because we will be a first-time home buyer. We probably will be on the South or West Side. Whatever neighborhood I get the most equity, that's growing, a growing community, that I can get the most equity in everything, a growing community on a good block. I'm not going to go beyond my means. My first home may not be my dream home, but as long as if it's multiple rooms that I could do my show and have a room and another guest room, I'm fine. If it's a minimum of 3-bedroom, I'm fine. I'm perfect with that. In a safe neighborhood, in a safe block, but I'm fine with that. But, that's why I'm really looking forward, because you're getting the credit together, getting income together, get everything together, because when you buy property, it's a lot of rules, a lot of things that you have to make sure that they can verify that income. You just can't be out here weird. You got to kind of separate things, because you got to get it together. So I'm really putting in the work. I don't know what God is going to take me in this journey, but I'm doing the work. I'm meeting people. This is exactly what we do. I meet people and we network with people. And we have this conversation with people. This is what we do on a daily basis. And I subscribe to the Dallas newspaper. I also subscribe to the Chicago Tribune. So I want to get the Dallas perspective. I want to get the Chicago perspective. And then I'm also going to subscribe to the Washington Post. Then I also got a Fox News subscription, like Fox News. I get updates with Fox News. So I get so many multiple. I get the liberal, the so-called liberal, and I also follow people that are quote unquote progressives. Then I also follow the conservative. So I'm getting multiple perspectives. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not following one person. And then I watch Roland Martin. So I get if I want to feel pro-black, I get the pro-black perspective. So I get so many perspectives. And this is what I do. So I can be aware and informed what's going on in my community. And so when I subscribed to the Dallas newspaper, I found out in that particular newspaper that they are giving grants for helping people like $500,000 under HUD. It's a program that they're going to give a grant to a first-time home buyer. It's a grant to go to for people that want to be a first-time with down payment assistance. So it's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, but it's the information is out there. But they're not going to do and beg you to know about that. It's programs out there. If you have Section 8 voucher, you can use that to become a home buyer. A lot of people don't know that. So it's best to understand and research what you're doing with that. But at the end of the day, you know, I keep it real. I understand it's a very complex issue. It's not going to happen overnight. There is no magic wand and just change it. It's going to take a coalition of many people, federal, local, and state level to work together to get this problem together. But the community, you must involve yourself. And when you involve your things move quickly when they see the community involving what's going on. So that's why we have to say, all right, station head. All right, Instagram. I'm going to let y'all go. We about to get into these topics. I will see y'all on YouTube. Okay. Y'all come on YouTube. All right. It's 2 y'all on here. 55 of y'all on station head. Y'all want to get the rest of this show? That's done with our introduction. We will see y'all on YouTube. All right. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Now, that was that with the intro. Now let's talk about Senator Tim Scott. He have announced today that he's running for president. And everybody was like, I said, do not underestimate Senator Tim Scott. He's a black senator out from Carolina. And so you do not out there underestimate him, because when you underestimate him, that is when you mess up. Herschel Walker, people forget when Herschel Walker, the football player, when he ran for senator in Georgia, he almost won. He was close. If you look, I think Reverend Warnock won maybe about 13,000 votes. I could be wrong, but it was a close election. He could have won if black people didn't vote, and if you didn't have Black Voters Matter and the Georgia Project and all of those people on the ground, you know, making sure that, you know, black folks go out and vote their numbers, hitting the community with the bullhorn. He almost won, and he was just dumb as a doorknob. You know, he wouldn't have been running his office. His chief of staff would have been running. He wasn't running because he's stupid. He dumb. He don't know anything about politics. He don't know the basics or anything how government works. So, but he almost won. White people, they wanted to vote him in because of Trump, you know, anointed him as a person that should win. Of course, he lost, but it was a strong possibility to win. Tim Scott is different. He's not dumb. He's very intelligent, very smart. He's educated, and he know what to say, what not to say. He do not hold on to race, even though he said his grandfather, I think his father or grandfather, was in the Jim Crow. You know, he did bring his mother on stage, so he's paying the pain. He have a beautiful black mother. She was on stage standing there, and he was talking about his story and all of the type of thing. Oh, okay, all the type of things that he was doing. It was just a lot of things that, you know, he was doing, and it could happen. Now, when I read the comments, a lot of the white conservatives, they said he should run for vice president. You can't run for vice president. I mean, you can't like say, I'm announcing him run for vice. You have to be picked to be somebody running it. This ain't like a lieutenant governor. No, you have to be picked to be on the ticket. So people say, oh, he should run for vice president. They don't want him to run. And I think this is a bad time for him because of Trump, because of Ron. They're going to vote their people first. Maybe in the next 4 years, maybe. I don't see a black Republican winning anytime soon. Not under this MAGA climate with Trump and Brother Ron. I don't see it Governor Ron. I don't see it happening. I think Governor Ron and Trump are going to really duke it out, which is going to be great entertainment. I'm here for it. I'm glad that Trump has somebody on the debate stage because they're going to make a lot of money. A lot of people want people to run because when you do that, ad dollars, hotels, rental cars, it's like it helps the economy during the presidential election. That's why Ohio fought really hard to be the first one to have I think they call it primary, and there's something else they call it, to be the first one because there's so many people that love politics. So it's going to be a good moneymaker. They're predicting billions with a B are going to be spent in the 2024 election. And you got Trump, you got Governor Ron, you got Tim Scott. I believe those are the three on the Republican side. Then you got Mr. Kent. I think Kennedy, one of the Kennedys are running on the Democratic side, but they pretty much got that locked over there. But they can't stop nobody from running and challenging President Biden. So we will see how they will go. I don't necessarily see Kennedy actually winning because he did, help Minister Farrakhan or defended Minister Farrakhan when Minister Farrakhan was talking about a lot of things he was defending. I'm not going to get into what he was defending him on. You got to Google it. But with that entail, they're going to use that against him and say you was attached to Minister Farrakhan and you was, what I'm saying, they're really going to come at him hard. So, and that's really going to scare a lot of the white liberals. So they're not going to vote for him because if it's associated with Mr. Farrakhan, I don't see it actually happening, but we shall see. Anything is possible. We will see. But as of right now, it's going to be looking like it's going to be Trump and Donald and President Trump. Or it could be Ron DeSantis because I see him running Ohio first. I think he's going to win Ohio. I think they're going to really go around because he's more safe. He's more smart. He's a governor that got things done. A lot of Republicans don't want anything to do with CRT. They like it that, they're not allowing illegals to be in the same house with people with DACA and you could become a felon. They like it that even though the felons got their rights restored in Florida, that Florida was like, oh my gosh, you must pay all your fees in order to get your voters' rights back. So it's a lot that's going to go on in this election, and I'm here for it all. I'm here for every single piece of this election. I have not endorsed anybody yet. It's too early for me to endorse. I did endorse Brandon Johnson. Well, at first I endorsed Jamal Green in the general. He lost. But, of course, I endorsed in the primaries, I endorsed Mayor Brandon Johnson. The reason why I endorsed him because Paul, he did a terrible job with the schools. He could not manage the school system correctly. A lot of teachers that I talked to have teachers also in my family. They didn't like Paul in leading the schools. They didn't like it. They think he did a terrible job. So I went with Brandon Johnson. I felt he's more progressive. I felt he will be an ally to the labor people, and of course I was right because that's how he won. The unions and the labor community, the progressive, literally stood behind Brandon Johnson. He's more so like a progressive and everything. So we will see how it goes. Now, when it comes to Tim Scott, I think he's a weak man. He's very weak because he had a time to be a great Republican, and he could have stood up for the George Floyd Policing Act, Accountability Act. He didn't do it. He lied and said that it would be like defund the police, but a lot of police unions welcomed the bill. It would have been more accountability for the police. Even though it could have went a little further, that would have been the first step to help bridge the gap between the community and the police. But of course, he failed to do so. So I think he's a terrible, weak man. He's very dangerous. He have voted with Trump 96% of the time. He want to cut Medicaid. He want to cut Social Security. And you want to cut these programs, but your mother, I don't know if she have Medicaid or she's on Social Security. I don't know. But let's just say, for instance, that she gets sick and she needs she needs insurance. It will be paid by the government. You know what I'm saying? It will be paid by the government. And if you cut those services, and what if your mother need to have Social Security? So I don't think Republicans understand when they say cut Social Security. Do you know it's more Republicans, more elderly white people on Social Security than elderly black people? It's more sick people, white folks that's on these government subsidy programs because there's more of them. So of course it's going to be more, more of them in America as of right, according to the census. So they definitely are on these programs. So if you say cut Medicaid, okay, today cut Social Security, cut Medicaid, cut Medicare. Okay, you cut those, you do severe cuts. you would have a disaster because most people, their only income, they're sick, they can't go get a regular job, they're in a wheelchair, they're in all these type of things, they're on oxygen tanks, they can't just go out and work at McDonald's, they're sickly. In the end, you're going to have a lot of nursing homes that are going to shut down because they it's nursing homes that only depend on insurance. Some nursing homes, especially in Black and brown communities, are not thriving on private pay because most people don't have private pay, they only have government programs. So if you do severe cuts, you will have nursing homes that will have to shut down, that will drive up unemployment because a lot of CNAs and nurses won't be able to find jobs. And you will have a lot of people that will just die in their homes because of they don't have the programs or the assistance to get a nursing home. And then those nursing homes that would accept a little insurance, it would be such a waiting list for those grandma, big mama, and them to get on there. So we have to be very careful with cutting those programs. Now, do I believe we need to cut some things? Absolutely. I can look at the budget and one day we could just go into American budget of the budget they let us see. And we could talk about, we can go line by line of things that they should cut or things they should reinvest or things they should allocate. I believe it's a lot of money that we give to that we shouldn't give as much, but going right just to Medicare, to those programs that's been in existence for since what, the 50s and the 40s, been here for a long time. And we cut those and not other things that we spend billions and almost trillions of dollars almost. So we will see how this will play out in the, like I said, in the 2024 election. Is I'm with Tim Scott? No. If he would have done some very tremendous things about, help making voters' right act protected more, help make it safer for, not having discrimination towards Black and brown and elderly folks. And then also, you know what I'm saying, because they kept saying something about voter ID. When they need to pay for the, for those that can't afford it, they can show that they're on a low income, that they would be able to get their ID and driver's license paid by the government if you're on these government substance programs. But they're not doing that. And so then they were taking away polls in colleges and university. You can't vote in a college and university. Then they said you can't use your college ID, but you can use your gun card. Like, it's like a lot of rules that they changed. They did laser focus to discourage and try to kick off millions of Black and brown people, particularly the millennials, to keep them from voting because they know they're unpopular with Gen Z and the millennials, right? And so they try to dig these road barriers and try to make it difficult for them to vote. So we will see how it goes. I would tell y'all we should hold and wait and question and research every candidate and give them a chance. And that's why I hope Senator Scott, we reached out to his office, his campaign today, to reach out to him for an interview. We also reached out to President Donald J. Trump for an interview. And also we reached out to the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, for an interview as well, because I think they need to get to talk to Black people, because Black people will look at the Republican Party if the Republican Party take time to have conversations with the Black community, visiting barbershops, visiting events and festivals, and let it be known, going into those communities, having a listening session with the Black community, going to know one, because you should be able to compete with the vote. The reason why Blacks for a long time have voted for Democrat, it was some very popular programs, but no Republicans ever really competed for the vote. And I believe that if you put the resources to compete, it can happen. In Illinois, it was run by Democrats, but one day the governor, Governor Bruce, I believe his name was, a couple of years ago when I was in Chicago, he actually won the governorship. He actually took it. A Republican became the governor of Illinois because he put the resources. They knocked on doors. They got a couple of Black people to endorse him for for governor, and he became the governor of a Republican governor of Illinois. So it's possible. If you really put the resources in there, it is possible. But regardless, you can't wait to the last minute to really do it. And if Tim Scott really wants the Black vote to support him, he got to do a hell of a job to speak to us and not at us, and really take time to go where we're at, and don't allow your white consultants to try to tell you about the Black community. You must have Black consultants as well. So I would clearly want to see what is his staff look like. Do it reflect his people, or do it reflect America? We shall see. So that's all I have to say about Tim Scott. Hopefully, whether he win or not win, we will definitely do it as well. So we just had to talk about that as well. All right. Let's get into Kai. Kai, he went through a whole lot with the with Twitch. That's good. But he's in the news because this man was talking about DoorDash. He's a short man. I didn't know he was that short. So DoorDash, y'all know DoorDash bring your food to your door, right? They're delivering in Texas, they bring it right to the door. But he's staying like in a gated community, like a mansion almost. So they put his bag all the way up, and he couldn't even hardly reach. He couldn't reach the bag. So he dragged them on Instagram. I'm like, why would y'all do that? A good driver will be calling, say, hey, you have a gate code. I'm here with your food. You want to meet you at the gate to pass your food? I have it in my DoorDash that you should just leave it at the door. Illinois is different. You just bring it up to the door and I will answer it. But in my building, sometimes I'm doing things and doing a show. And so just leave it at my door and I come and grab it. But it's just like when I saw that, I laughed. And I'm like, go ahead, guy. You did that. He's very entertaining. I like watching him because he's a refresher. He don't talk about politics, entertainment. He talked about it a little bit. He interviewed entertainers, but it's fun. It's just like I love watching him. I love seeing him dance. I love seeing him interact with his audience. And he spent hours on him, and he make a lot of money. And some of these content creators don't make nowhere near the type of money he make, and they take multiple breaks. But I like that brother. He really spent hours upon hours on Twitch. And I said, I have not done enough on YouTube because this brother spent a hell of an amount of hours on Twitch, right? He's on Twitch every single day for about 12 to 13 or 14, 15 hours on Twitch, sometimes 24 hours. Sometimes he'll sleep on Twitch, and he made about $2 million. That's a blessing, that $2 million a month. So on average, he's almost making about $2 million a month. He did win an award for best streamer. He won that award last year. So he's putting in the work. So I'm not jealous. I'm hating him because he literally put in the work. He don't focus about other content creators and dragging them. He just do his content, even though when his friend was accused of a crime and he responded and he left it alone. He don't really get into the mess. He's not like some of these content creators that say they got it and they make money, but yet they're responding to their competitors. He ain't like that. That's one thing I can say about Kai. He ain't like Armand Wiggins, get drunk, and then, he did get high, and then they banned him because he fell out. He's not like Armand Wiggins, responding to competition. He really got money. He's really about that life. He's really great. And he got the connection with the celebrity. That's somebody that I look up to. I'm like, oh, my gosh. And eventually I'm going to be past all that because I need a couple of political interviews, and I'm going to be done with all that because I'm going to be dragged by Sun Times and the Tribune. That's my goal. But I love that because he don't worry about that. He's not like Armand Wiggins drinking heavily and responding to other people. He don't do that. And this man got money, make money, and all the type of things, He's not like Armand Wiggins, He got a property, you know what I'm saying? It's not infested with homeless people, and they were able to infiltrate the lobby like they did Armand Wiggins. And, he had to, pretty much leave because of the homeless problem. Honestly, it's really, really a true story. And his energy is so dope. And every time I respond to him, he'll like my tweet. Because he's a great guy. I watch him. I remember I had some of my situations. And I had a situation in my home. And we were Ken and, and we were watching Kai. And I couldn't even get it in, because I was watching Kai. I don't like to be distracted. So I got it in. Then I went back and to watch Kai, but I love watching his chat. Sometimes I stop watching it a little bit because it's addictive, because I catch myself spending about 4 to 5 hours watching it. And so he's just really a good demographic. It's a good refresher that I got to worry about YouTube. Don't nobody know me in the chat. It's just a dope community over there. It's a dope chat. It's a dope Instagram following. Don't nobody know what I do, which is fine. I'm just a fan of my brother. I'm giving my brother giving his flowers. And I think he does a great job. Don't y'all agree? I think he does a great job. At the end of the day, he does a wonderful job. And when I was looking at his formula, I said the brother puts in the work and everything. This is why I work hard. We have to spend some more money. We get some things and putting some work in. And we're in Chicago. A lot of people don't understand what we're doing. But once y'all see us close on our first property, then you will understand what we're doing. But I look at him and I said what he went through to see where he's at now. He lived in a rat-infested apartment. And he's now thriving. He's thriving right now. He's really, really thriving. And if you don't know who he is, you under rock. Most of y'all not going to watch him because he's not your demographic. you love people like me that cater towards the older crowd. His demographic, I don't have, maybe about 1%. But if I cater towards that younger crowd, I can get that audience. But right now, I'm just comfortable where I'm at. I stay in my lane because you can't cater to everybody. So I have an audience like middle age, older, late mid 20s, early. I do have some people that's in their early 20s, mostly women, and I cater towards that base. You know what I'm saying? And I love them. I really, really like them. And I've just been watching them all the time. I can't stop watching them. Like about all his content, the people that he had on that Blueface and Krishan, when he had another brother on there, another celebrity he had on there. Drake actually gave him a cosign. I love that. And like I said, a lot of children watch him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I understand why Twitch banned him. Deleted him for a while because a lot of the youth watch him and he have a lot of influence. And if you do something and someone and they follow him, if you're a 9 or 10-year-old child, say, okay, mom, I'm about to eat me about 5 bags of edibles, and they fall out. So they have to be very careful with that when it comes to that. So I understand he have a younger, his audience is not my audience, you know, it's like the middle and late 40s, early 50s, mid 50s crowd. And I love that crowd because they grown. I have a grown adult crowd. I have an old soul, and I attract that to my channel. That's my type of audience. So when Drunk Wiggins, you know, when he goes on his campaign, you ain't gonna stop people from giving because I have that audience. I have my own niche that love me, cater towards me because it's a formula that we do, and they fell in love with us. And that with Kai, I love him because he's not trying to beg to be with Jason Lee Frey. He's not trying to beg to be Cardi B or Nicki Fair, and he just have the influence. You see, this is something that Armand Wiggins must understand, that you got to have the influence. You don't have it yet. Because if you had it, you won't give me the influence. Because you should be talking to the Nickis, you should be talking to the Cardis, you should be talking to all of those people. But you still got to put in the work. You still a baby in this. And you keep saying, I reached my quota. No, you have not reached your quota. You are not doing enough to cater, and you're worrying about Wiley. And stop watching Wiley. If I were you, I would stop. I would cater towards trying to get Nikki and Cardi. They don't come on your show, never, ever. Probably never will. And so Nikki said, I'm going on Kai's show. No, Kai. And he was like, well, I come up with, no, I'm going to come on your show. That would never happen with Armand Wiggins. He's trash. You know, he's trash in this regard. Let me tell you, he's entertaining. You know, he's entertaining, but he's trash in this regard because all he did was trash women. And then he wants the same women to be on his platform, garbage, trash. And so that's what he does. He wants people to come on his show, and they don't come on his show. He do all that talking. Nicki ain't on his show. Cardi ain't on his show. Ice Spice, Doja Cat. He had Erica Banks when she was a new person. Hey, hello. Yeah, you back in Texas or Chicago? Oh, you said what? I thought you said you moved back. Oh, so everything good. Oh, okay. So when you back home? Oh, okay. I'm gonna call you when something live. Did your intro come out yet? Your segment of your show come out yet? I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna call you back in a if you up. What are you about to get to your flight? Okay, I'm gonna call you when I get you. I'm gonna call you. All right. Okay. So yeah, so Armand, he just worried about Wiley. And we're getting the clout, and we boots on the ground. Everybody channel that put me in there, if you want to interview me, I'm open for interviews. I'm going everywhere. I'm on the press tour, right? I'm everywhere. This is good clout for me. And so I think Armand, he really wants this Kai success, and he's trash. He's controversial, and he's going to have to really change up his formula because all he does is trash rappers, criticize, trash them for felt. And then I want to interview Ice Spice. I want to interview Doja Cat. I want to interview these people. Please come on my show. Please, please, please come on my show. I'm a great guy. I twerk. I drink. I smoke 5 blunts. I treat my man like trash. Come on my show. I do a reading and trash you about your husband and your decision about your yoni stink. But please come on my show. And they don't come. And so That's why he's angry and mad and upset. But Kai don't have these issues. Kai have all of these successful people on his show. He have all these successful people. He don't even try and have it. You have Armand, he goes on these mantic rants on Station Head, and maybe he need a therapist. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be on vacation. I'm on vacation, ain't nowhere. And he's on vacation talking about Wiley. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a life like that. You know, I'm busy doing politics, but you know, I don't have a man. I'm single. I don't have anybody. I'm just a single black man, single. You know, I don't have pops. You know, I can't order around a man and all those type of things. So I'm kind of a little jealous in that regard. Kind of a little jealous. I can't wait to give me a man to order around or a woman to order around. Okay, tell him to sit down, tell him to cook my food, make it hot. I can't wait to do that. So if I'm ever a little jealous in that regard, I want to get me a little assistant. You know, I could screw him and then tell him, sit down, it ain't cold enough, bring me a hot sandwich. You know, one day that would definitely happen. Rub my feet. I can't wait to do that. So I don't know how bad doing it on camera because some of you women going to get upset. But anyway, I'm going to order them around, you know what I'm saying, really train them and stuff like that. So in that regard, I'm a little jealous in that regard because I want somebody that I can just order around. Bring me a hot cup of coffee. It ain't hot enough. Take it back. You know, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait. They ain't gonna have no social media. They ain't gonna be able to have no social media. They ain't even gonna be able to have a phone out. They have to get permission to call somebody. I'm joking, entertainment purpose only. But they're gonna have to get a permission to use a cell phone. Okay. All right, they can't bring their family unless it goes through the process, and I must approve them, and they must be an appointment. Their mama, their granny, anybody, they must have an appointment to come visit my wife, or it would be my wife. Her family must have an appointment to come see it because you just can't roll up my family the same way. They have to have an appointment. You just can't roll up on my house because we will call security and escort you out of the property. You must have an appointment anyway. So in that regard, but you know, one thing I can say about Kai, he's just a great young, youthful guy, great entertainer. He's everything about him. He's just thriving and so successful. He make more money than $1,000 on, you know, on TuneCore. Armand is making $1,000, nothing. He's look $1,000 ain't nothing. And so that's why he's mad and he's upset because nobody is listening to his music. So one thing about Kai, I love that about Kai, that he don't worry about the noise. People trash him. They talk about him. They call him problematic. Some people does. But you know why you don't hear much about that? Because he don't respond to the noise. He just let them talk. That's exactly what he do. He let the people talk. He do not answer to the noise. Okay? He do not answer to the noise. And so that is something that Armand Wiggins you know, need to understand. My job is to do commentary. I am the lesser channel, right? Don't nobody watch me. I'm just a nobody, right? But I get a whole show, multiple shows on station. He talk about me every day on station all day, 24 hours almost. And he talks about me daily on Station Head. And he say I'm a nobody. And then let's take Brother Kai down from here 1 second. I'm going to keep Kai picture up for a second. Because Kai don't have these issues and these problems. And somebody else don't have these issues and these problems. Now, Jason will talk mess on Bingo. And he will trash people on Bingo because he get paid on Bingo. And trash people on Bingo. Right? But one thing I honor about that brother, he do not sit here and trash people on YouTube. He just mind his business. He just do it all on Bingo and he mind his business. Armand should definitely take a page out of his book. Now, Armand did burn his book. He did burn that bridge. He did leak those text messages. He do trash Jason Lee. He lived rent-free in his mind. And he's upset because Jason Lee came on our show and showed us awesome love and support. And we had a beautiful conversation with one of his team members. So the line of communication is open. Only thing that this person told me, and I'm going to say it publicly, they just said, well, just keep doing you. Just be fair. Can you be fair? And this particular person said it. And I said it from the heart. And I said, I can be fair. Let me see if I can pull it up. She just said it verbatim. Can you be fair? That's all that she said. I'm not going to really get into the name, but can you be fair? That's all he asks. That's it. Can you be fair? And we just have to be honest with that. Because that is the question. Can you be fair? And we're very fair. We're a very fair, unbiased platform. And Armand Wiggins is upset because we talk about him and people respond. And he lied to his audience, said, don't nobody watch me, which is a lie. Every time I open my mouth and discuss him, people view it. And we don't even have to put his name in the title because y'all are here watching. But I'm still going to discuss him because he wants to discuss him. And he got on the phone with us a couple of days ago. He called us from Paris and telling us not to talk about Jason Lee. And he'd say these things to get us to the spot. He went on a nasty campaign with a very nasty woman that's desperate for man attention. And maybe she want, you know what I'm saying, another man. But anyway, that's not her husband. And we are literally sitting here having these conversations, and Jason don't have these problems. I think with Armand Wiggins, when he lied to his audience and said, don't nobody watch, you literally dedicated all of these fans. We're trending on station here. I never would have thought that we would went viral, major viral. Everybody, it was about how many videos? About 55 videos made about us all over YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. People was calling me. My phone is blowing up because I did right. And I talked to a blogger, and he said, Wiley, all of your trolling, you knew how to do it. Now you're getting a name for yourself. You're a part of the algorithm. When they put Armand Wiggins' name in the title, they put your name. They put your name, folks, then Armand Wiggins' name. You are attached to his brand. And this particular person, and I love when Lovely T said it. It was so dear to me when she said it. She said, you know, he tried to distance himself from your brand, but yet he's disgusting you all the time. And now when you put in Armand and Wiley, you both are in the algorithm today. And we will continue to be in algorithm because we will do things that will make them talk about us. I'm not doing my job right if I do not get a response by my favorite celebrity. I do not do my job right if I don't see those teeth, those big, huge teeth that he got from Colombia. With a lot of people, child soldiers in poverty, and they just go there for cheap labor because he's cheap. You know, having that, you're not winning unless you respond. So having a response from my favorite celebrity, Armand Wiggins, I was one of the 5 people that bought his music. We are literally having a great time. You know, we're sitting here talking about Armand Wiggins. He's responding. I'm great because I'm talking to my favorite celebrity. We did an effective show last night, and we were very emotional. We cried, and we were getting beat up by bugs, and bugs were just flying around us. But I stood out in the bugs because I had to be honest with my story. And he can't deny it. Many people were saying, Wiley, I didn't know Armand Wiggins called you from the hospital. He called you back from the hospital. I said, he did call me. This man is lying to his audience. He's nothing but a liar. He lied to his audience and said we weren't friends. We talked for hours and hours and hours and hours when his mother didn't give him the Sprite and he had to get water and he wasn't allowed. And when his father allowed him to go to the all you can eat buffet and he had to lie about his age to get in there for free. You know what I'm saying? So all of those type of things that we talked about. And when he had a yellow truck and he had to screw people in the yellow truck because his family did not allow him to screw man in the, in the house or in that garage. So we have to screw him, in the truck. When he got hired at AT&T, when he got hired during that time, AT&T would fly you to hotels and he would get flown out to hotels and he would have to do training. They would give him a card to get food and stipends and all of that. We knew all of that. And this is before he was on YouTube. Now, he did say something last night and we have Jason on here. We're going to put me and him together, Armand and myself, my favorite celebrity. He did say, Armand did say, if you fall out on YouTube, I'm done with you. But he failed to tell you when we were getting popularity with Chasing Atlanta because they posted us multiple times. We went viral. He called us and he said, hey, a new day. He unblocked me because he blocked me when he thought it was beneficial. And he tried to control me. He said, well, my boyfriend is controlling my Instagram, and I want you to, to work under me. And I refuse to work under him, and I don't regret it, because just imagine if I would have spent years working with him and he fired me or ended their partnership. I have no resources. I have no clicks and views. All of it is his content. So I said no to that. Me and him did work together. We had a show called the Bullshit Bail Show, where he had a bail. We called it the Bullshit Bail Show. We had a show. My graphic designer made the flyer. We did multiple videos together, so he can't deny it. He tried to erase the digital copy, but we also have videos with us together. So he deleted a lot of the videos because he's trying to erase history. Thank God we have a big mouth that you cannot erase, that we were intertwined. You can't deny it. And then recently, just a couple of months ago, wasn't that far along, that he called me from Paris. Then he recently just called me as well, trying to get information about Tasha K and his secret relationship with Tasha. And Tasha still called me. So I tell you, a lot of you content creators, you guys be out here, you think these people be beefing, but they be talking behind the scenes. Armand Wiggins got a secret relationship with Tasha K, and they get on the phone and talk because they're one of the same. And Tasha was trying to, to discourage me to talk about her finances and all of that. And then the whole thing that she was supposed to team up with Armand and all that, and she got mad. So they talk privately behind the scenes, but it's a big mess because she talk about his best friend, and he mad about that. He cut him off, and it's just a whole bunch of mess. And like I said to all of them, Tasha and to Armand, I said, listen, y'all can't control me. And Tasha kept saying, well, you need to bring the you need to bring the camera back. Give me back the camera. I said, Tasha, I will never give you back the camera because you gave it to me. It was a gift. You can't give me a gift and expect me to give it back. There is no refund. Once you give it to me, it's mine. You think you can go back to Bishop T.D. Jakes because you on hard times? You think they're going to give you back your tithe and offering that you gave to him for 10 years? You think you can go back to the Potter's house, Bishop T.D.? Do you really think you can go to the Joel Osteen, this is my Bible, I said it, I am what I said it, I do, I'll never be the same? Do you really think you can go to Joel Osteen and say, can I get back my money because I'm on hard times? Can you give me back 10 years worth of my tithes and offering? Do you really think you can go to the New Birth community, the New Birth church, and go to Pastor Brian and say, can you give me back my 10, 15, 20 years of tithes and offering? No! You ain't gonna get it back. You gave it. They're not gonna give you that back. And we have a no refund policy. You give me a $20, $50, $100, that's you. You gave it from your heart. People get mad and want their money. You can't go to your church and get it back, and you can't come here and get it back. Okay? Can't do it. You can't go to your church and get it back, and you ain't gonna get it back over here. Not gonna happen. There is no refund. Okay? People give deal. A person want to give me a nice Gucci bag. A Gucci. I never had Gucci in my life. And, I didn't know. I just told the lady because I'm not used to labels. I'm a humble man, very humble. Let's just give me a regular bag. She said, no, Wiley, I want you to have on Gucci. Which color you want? So I said, give me black. Put that black Gucci. So she said she going to give me some Gucci. And so people are just blessings upon blessings, And people are not going to stop because I'm still their favorite blogger. So they still want to bless us with some Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. And so it's amazing. So we're not going to do any refunds. We're not doing any refunds at all. We don't scam people at all. People give freely. And thank God people is listening to people say, because they keep saying, I gave Wiley money. I gave him because I want to give, because I feel bad for Wiley. I gave. Well, you did it. You're not scammed. You gave. That's you. You give, and you will continue to give. And so, God bless you. But Armand Wiggins and I, top producer out of Atlanta, want to do a sit-down conversation with me and Armand Wiggins, right? A sit-down. They reached out to me. I said, if Armand Wiggins agree to do it, then I would do it. So they reached out to Armand Wiggins for a conversation between me and him on this big YouTuber channel. Armand told them no. Armand said he will not even put water to my body if it was on flames. He literally said no. The producer was shocked because this top blogger and producer and people, they were shocked because they thought Armand would want to do it to resolve it. He said no. And I told the producer, I said, I'm not shocked that he's not going to want to confront me and do it because he can't compare to my personality. He just can't do it. He can't do it at all. He ain't going to run up on me like he did the black woman. That ain't going to happen. You know, I'm too huge for that. I have too much knowledge and too skillful. He's just really not going to do it. And not at all. So a big YouTuber and producer reached out. I said, it's a great idea because we never met. And they got me on the phone. They said, well, did you ever meet him? I said, no, I never met the guy. I never met him at all. I never met him. I don't even know if he's tall, short, or skinny. I seen him on camera, but we talked and we FaceTimed of that, but we just physically never met in person. But the chemistry online is so beautiful that if we meet in person, it will be off the chain because in online virtual, our personality is just golden. It's awesome. Can you imagine if me and him were to do a show and do a conversation, the views that it will get, we both would benefit from it? Because he keeps saying, I don't benefit from it, but you benefited because a person disdained for me gave him about $1,000 and more and sent him another cash app of someone. And she called me and told me she did it. And I said, you can have a good time. Keep sending them cash apps. Because it's definitely there when it comes about a situation. Then people will say, well, it's another way. And I got to break this down because some of y'all is hypocrites. Because I just got off the phone with some people from Zeus. Because I get on the phone with them trying to interview some people. Zeus, all they do is drama and put down black folks. But y'all made the CEO over there in Zeus a millionaire. Y'all made Nalini a millionaire. Y'all made roly-poly snacks. Literally, the lady got so much money that she's suctioning out the mouth. She getting a BBL. So if you want to see something where it's not, go watch another channel. Don't try to tell me to change to get me out of my spot and let me do something that you ain't going to watch. You said that about told Armand Wiggins. We want something positive. We tired of the mess. And he up there shoveling cards, reading cards, and y'all don't watch him. Get up out of here. Y'all didn't watch that man. Y'all got in that man's head and having him believe I'm going to leave the mess. He made an announcement. I'm going to leave the mess. I ain't talking about no mess no more. I'm going another direction. Them views dropped so bad. They dropped so bad. Immediately, he had to go right back into the mess. And he told his audience, he got pissed at his audience that y'all didn't support my positivity because they like mess. I understand what my people like. The more messy I am, the more you're going to watch, the more you're going to give. The more you watch, the more messy I am, the more I drag. The more you give, the more you watch, the more you share. If I just do positive, we did one political video, positive, just so political, positive, 50 people in the chat. So don't give me that crap that you want positive. Please, you don't want that. Stop that lie. Because if you do, you wouldn't even watch the Wiley Show. You will watch all of those positive channels that is out there that be knitting, that be out there singing, where you having rains, and all that sound is so positive. It's plenty positive channel. Why don't you just go watch them positive channels? Don't even, and then you get new people that never comment, oh, I'm tired of doing it. We'll go watch them positive channels, but you ain't because you like the mess. You like the mess. Just like when Armand read them cards and he got positive. And he had a conversation. He got really positive and really got so positive. And y'all abandoned him. Didn't watch him. Low views. Then he tried to do a story time where he did drag black women. Black women themselves did not watch it. If you compare when he dragged a black woman for Cupcake, dragged her over a $40 worth of French fries, $40 worth of French fries. I got my video playing. Hold on one second. Let's just compare. $40 worth of French fries. He ran up on a black woman for $40 worth of French fries, right? $40 worth of French fries, okay? That got 60,000 views. He did it 11 days ago. When he was profiled, 17,000. Do you know the difference? Well, let me tell you. The difference is he didn't drag her and talk about her yoni and ran up on her like he did the black woman. You see that? He didn't drag her like he ran up on Cupcake. Where that money at, B? Fishy B. Ran up on her over $50 surprise. Should be ashamed of himself. Then when he get racial profile and they get to the table, we don't serve your kind. Yes, I'm around niggas from the Wiley Show. Can I get an apple pet? We don't serve your kind here. Go around back. So him and his boyfriend, Pops and them, they go around back. They get a slice of apple pie mixed with some urine. And he didn't complain, went there, got in his car, and complained days later. Okay? And didn't run up on only pies. He couldn't get it. He wanted him a nice little slice of pie. He was high. So he wanted some pie, couldn't get it. But he didn't run up on the lady. He didn't talk about the lady's smell, nothing he run up on at all. Didn't do a whole 3-5 hours, multiple videos about it, nothing at all. But the black woman he did. And so that is the key. A lot of black women like to be insulted. They will give more when you insult them. Do you hear me? Okay? Do you hear me? And so I'm just keeping it all the way real. So again, Armand Wiggins and myself, mutual beef. I love my brother. He has some beautiful teeth. Got from Colombia. Not as real teeth. He shaved it down. They have to put on implants. It's not real. A lot of people are just getting all that big old junk in their mouth. It's crazy. You know, when you get a priest that's toothless and they get them dentures, they look weird. Thank God for my natural teeth. We're going to get a teeth whitening. We got a dental appointment. We're going to get a teeth whitening and stuff like that. And we're going to have it all the type of way. We're going to have a teeth whitening. And we love it because this is what we do. And we have membership. We're going to have a members only. Get that together and do that. Give me a second. I'm going to drop the members only link in there because I want to make sure that we get all members that do want to be a member on our show. And dropped it on the chat. So again, let me know if you all want to become a member, and we'll let y'all become a member. So moderators, post the members only one in the chat. Give me a second because y'all ain't posted it fast enough. Okay, let me post it in here. Give me a second because I had a copy of it on the back end because I sent it to all y'all. So when I drop it in there, so the moderators that don't have the members only link, I would definitely say, take it down. So I would have it. So give me a quick second. Sometimes it moves kind of slow when I'm live streaming. So give me a second here. I'm gonna scroll down here where I can grab that members only link. Let me see. I got it right here. Make sure y'all subscribe because we got a lot of topics. Not really that many to talk about today, but I have. Let me just drop that in there because somebody asked for the members only link. So we're gonna give y'all the members only. Hold on, right here. All right. Okay, there we go. And drop that in there. So if y'all want to become a member, Tasha dropped that. I'm going to drop it as well. So if anybody don't have it, y'all just copy it and then you have it as well. And I'll drop it as well. All right. So that was that. Now, okay. Bishop Whitehead, we talked to Bishop Whitehead. He did give you the permission. Y'all did not talk. Hold on. Y'all did not talk about this enough. It went on a rec. I said, sir, I said, when I go live, I would definitely talk about this. Bishop Whitehead is suing a local radio host for $50 million. According to the Daily Beast, they said the flashy pastor Lamar Whitehead insisted he's not a drug dealer, according to court documents obtained by the Daily Beast. A flashy Brooklyn preacher who was robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry during a live stream sermon last July has filed a lawsuit against radio personality Ms. Jones, accusing her of tarnishing his reputation on the air in September, according to court documents first obtained by the Daily Beast. Bishop Whitehead, 44, is asking for $50 million from Jones, whose full name is Tarsha Nicole Jones, and her employers, Paramount Global and WKBK 94.7, The Block, alleging that the commentary defamed and slandered him during her morning show. Specifically, Bishop Whitehead, who has ties to New York City Mayor Eric Adams, drives a Rolls Royce, and was recently arrested for allegedly grabbing a woman by the neck mid-service, said in a suit that Jones' statement on September 13th that he is a drug dealer is using the church to hide the old drug money, that he assaulted the young lady, and that his church is where he's probably still doing his dirty work, are false. Ms. Jones' above listed statements directly concerning Bishop Whitehead are false. The filing state adding that on-air comments expose Whitehead to the public contempt, ridicule, aversion, and disgrace. Ms. Jones' statements implied criminal activity and injury to the plaintiff's reputation as a pastor. The suit continued. Ms. Jones' statements were published on air by thousands or millions of people. Ms. Jones' statements were made in a grossly irresponsible manner, and without regard for the truth. As a result of Ms. Jones' act, plaintiff lost business, church, and income. Jones does not have a lawyer listed in court records and was unable to be reached for comment on Wednesday. Brian Ponder, Whitehead attorney, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So he put that information out there that he is suing. This is not the first time that Whitehead, a one-time mortgage broker who served time in prison for identity theft, have gone after entertainment who questioned how he can afford his high-flying lifestyle. In September, Whitehead had filed a pair of $20 million lawsuits against two YouTubers, claiming that their comments about him were defamatory and slanderous. The complaints were similar to the new one filed against Ms. Jones, with Whitehead accusing King Jives and Larry Reed of calling him a con artist. Jives claimed in a video a month earlier that Whitehead continued to wear the same jewelry that he got robbed in, say he engaged in drug dealing and was involved with the Bloods and the Crips, according to court papers cited by the New York Post. I'm a commentary, the Jives told the outlet. I give commentary on religious politics, everything. We make a lot of jokes, especially about this particular situation, because this guy really is a joke. So for him to try to even file something is egregious. Last month, Whitehead sued Rolls-Royce Motor Cars and Financial Services when the lender deemed his credit score over a late payment of $300,000 vehicle. He claimed his monthly payments were up to date and was shocked and dismayed to see that his credit score dropped 70 points as a result of the supposed error. In 2021, a parishioner of Whitehead accused him of duping her out of her savings. The same year, he was sued by a New York, Jersey real estate developer over more than $330,000 in unpaid bills. Early this month, the Post described Whitehead as a slumlord for reportedly trying to evict 11 low-income tenants from 4 property he owns in Connecticut. Okay? So I talked to Bishop Whitehead on the phone, had a beautiful conversation with Bishop Whitehead. Number one, he deserved to shoot Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones is trash. She's a trash person, because let me tell you why she's trash. You literally get on the air and you say these slanderous things about Bishop Whitehead without allowing Bishop Whitehead to have dialogue. You cannot say on the radio that this man is a drug dealer. He never was accused of drugs. He never sold drugs in his church. He never was arrested for selling drugs. You saying that lie, and I'm glad that Bishop Whitehead is suing. I'm glad that Bishop Whitehead have sued her for millions, $50 million, and not just not just Miss Jones. He also sued the radio station. You can't say these things, whether you're a YouTuber or radio personality, because if a person want to be petty and sue, they can definitely sue. So we will see how this will play out. Like I told you, I talked to Bishop Whitehead about it. He did say, why is nobody talking about it? I said, I will talk about it as well. I'm sorry, I got caught up in some business. But I will say this, Bishop Whitehead is innocent in this regard. And also, even with his federal case, he should have a chance. I'm not going to say he's going to be victorious in the federal case. He have a right to his defense, because they had a lot of charges with Governor, the mayor out of Florida. I can't think of his name, but it's a black man in Florida. He the one that got caught up with the men in the hotel room drunk, butt naked with strippers and escorts. So he was charged with multiple federal charges of bribery, just so many charges. And Andrew Gullup, thank you, Andrew Gullup. And they dropped he was found not guilty, and the remaining of the charges they dropped it. So it's not a guarantee that the federal government will win, even though they have a 96% success rate, but 97, 98, 99, 100. So you can literally get 4%, the 4% it might win. So we will see what the evidence would be. We will see how he would do a trial. We will see how this would go. But it would not shock me if they give a guilty verdict. Number one, he's black. Number two, is the federal government. So his team got to be A1 because Tim Norman, he lost his case. That was criminal, but we will see how this will play. And this is also criminal as well. So we will see how this is played out, because it's a possibility that he could serve some more decades in prison regarding this. And it would not surprise me if he get off, because it all depends about what kind of defense can you afford, and do you have the right witnesses? And it's all dependent on the jury, because you may get a jury on there and say, oh my gosh, he's innocent, or you may get a jury on there, oh, he got to be guilty. So it all depends upon the jury. It depends upon the lawyers. You don't need ogre. And so we just had an amazing conversation. I believe he's a good guy, very professional. A lot of people say, why would you talk to him on the phone? He don't like LGBT people. I don't identify as LGBT people. I think that he have a right to have his opinion. Everybody's not going to agree with the lifestyles. Many other lifestyles I don't agree with. But I think that he should have a right to his opinion. I'm always about the First Amendment, and I don't believe that we should put handcuffs on the preacher. If that preacher believe what he believe, and let that preacher believe what it is. Up to you if you want to attend his teaching or be a part of his ministry. But I will also say this in closing about Bishop Whitehead. If he get his stuff together, he will be one of the best church bloggers in this sector. I know he told me yesterday he's not a blogger, but if he would definitely get into being a blogger, that man will give Larry Reed a run for his money. Do you hear me? If he were to go and be a blogger, that man will give Larry Reed a run for his money. Do you hear me? The man preach. He listen to gospel music. He know how to break the word down, and he know how to spill tea. Man, if he come on YouTube and be a full YouTuber, that man will definitely take over. He will be some serious competition to people in this sector. He would be some serious competition to all the people in this sector, because he already in the algorithm. And anything he say will go viral. We will see about it. So let's move on. Okay. Woo. We've been on here for a whole hour. We've been on here for a whole hour. Right? Today, it started yesterday. We were getting multiple emails and phone calls and DMs about us filing bankruptcy. So many phone calls and emails about us filing bankruptcy. Apparently, we were doxxed, and they released Armand Wiggins and his minions, released court documents, public court documents about my bankruptcy. We were in close to almost $70,000 in debt. It was even higher than that because they didn't discharge all of it. Cars repossessed. Was in a very terrible situation. So I did, if anything, I Googled, and someone in my community in Inglewood, they were telling me that it's an organization that's helping people file Chapter 7. So I did a quick Google search, and I said they can wipe the debt quick. And I Googled because we were in debt with Social Security. Let me break that down, how much debt we was in with Social Security. My mother had me on SSI. I was getting SSI. I was in speech therapy. My mother had me in speech therapy. And I was in special ed. I was in speech therapy, special ed, and I was getting a check. I had braces on my leg, on my right leg, had a brace, had surgery on my right leg, had a brace on my right leg. So I had a disability. So I qualified for a SSI check. And so when I got 18, we got a letter in the mail saying you do not qualify as an adult for SSI. But if you disagree with the decision, you can file an appeal. So that is what we did. We filed an appeal. We got an attorney. And of course, we get one of those attorneys. They don't win unless they don't get money unless you win. Got an attorney. And during that time, my grandmother was walking. She didn't have a stroke. We was living with my grandmother. We went downtown, went and filed an appeal. We went in front of the judge, and we did all this. Did file an appeal, and we lost. But during the process, when we was in the Social Security office, they said, well, we will give you the checks as long as it's in the appeal. If you lose, you have to pay Social Security back, but we will give you your check. You will still get your $500 a month and everything. I said, okay, that's fine, because at that time, that's all the money I had. I was just dedicated to file. It wasn't that much, but I was dedicated to it. My grandmother was my payee because I switched it from my mother to have my grandmother as my payee. So we talking and we doing it. And then eventually, they was talking about, they was doing another test about my memory, about this. And I was going there being super smart. I should have went in there, but I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So we get out of there. We get the letter that we were denied. And then we owed them almost close to 30 to 40,000. It was a lot of money that we owed Social Security because the appeal took years to come. So about 4 to 5 years. It was a while. I do remember that. And so finally we get the letter in the mail that we owe all this money to Social Security. And I couldn't pay the money back. I didn't know if they would have garnished my wages, couldn't pay it back. I had multiple repossessions that they were taking the car, wasn't paying the note. I couldn't afford it. And things were going up. So so a friend of mine, he said he's filing Chapter 7. I didn't know what it was. I said, Chapter 7? You reading a book? What's Chapter 7? What's about bankruptcy? It's wipe your debt clean. You can start over. I said, well, I don't have a lawyer to afford it. He said, oh, you can represent yourself. It's an organization. You pay them like $350. They tell you the paperwork to file, the court filing. They help you pay that. They will tell you which papers to file. You just represent yourself. So we all went downtown. Me and my friend, we represented ourselves. They were shocked because all these black people just represent themselves. We getting our debt wiped clean. I was about 2014. 2014, I was 23 going on 24. I turned 24 in November of that year, but I was 23 when I filed bankruptcy. I believe so. So we filed bankruptcy and we was waiting on it to discharge. We did everything that the people told me to say. We got the letter in the mail. It was completely discharged. At that time, we had payday loans, a lot of payday loans that they were garnishing our check from Park Place of Amherst. It was garnishing all our money. We was just in debt upon debt. And we said, okay, in order to stop it, I filed bankruptcy, and I called them with the discharge. I called them with the case number, and they stopped all the garnishments because we filed bankruptcy. So we did that, talked to the HR person, and all of it ceased. Got the letter in the mail, they discharged the debt. And everything was fine. The debt was discharged. I wiped clean. I was getting all these credit card offers, Capital One for about $5,000. I got an offer for a car lot to get a new car, no money down. So I went to the car lot back in 2014, and I got in a Nissan Sentra with silver trims. And so during that time, it was getting close to Brandy. She performed at the African Fest in Baltimore, Maryland, back in 2014. This is how early. So I just got discharged, got a brand new car. And so I met a guy on Facebook and I said, hey, let's go to the Brandy concert. Let's go to the African Fest. We can drive. I got a new car. Let's drive to Baltimore. So from Chicago to Baltimore, Maryland, it took me a couple, how many hours it took me? Because I remember it was a long drive to Baltimore, Maryland. So we went to Baltimore and it literally took me about, I would say, was it 12, 13? It was about 10 hours, almost 11 hours ride. And so we get in the car, got picked up another friend. He wanted me to pick up his friend. We picked him up and it was just I drove the whole way. Of course, they didn't have no money for the hotel. I had to pay for the motel. They kept saying they can get a discount, nothing. And I wanted my money back. I was in this Nissan Sentra, and we went to the African Fest, and we went there so early. We saw Brandy when she was doing her mic check, and we was there the whole day. And then we got back to the motel. They didn't have their money, so I got in my car and I drove all the way back to Chicago. That night, I left them in Baltimore, Maryland. That night, I got in the car and I drove all the way back to Chicago that night. I left them in Baltimore, Maryland, because they didn't have no money, and they lied to me. I paid all the gas, and they said, "Oh, they're going to Western Union the money." I said, "Well, where is it at? I need it now." And they didn't do it. So I left them in Baltimore, Maryland, and I didn't regret it. I don't even regret it to this day, because you have to pay your way. You can't lie to me. Just come out and say you ain't got it and let me decide whether I want to do it or not. But I left them right there. So all my debt was clean. I got all these credit cards, and I got multiple credit cards. And I got back in debt. Didn't pay for the Nissan Sentra. They came and picked it up in front of my grandmother's house on 65th and Justine. They picked it up. Credit cards, I maxed them all out. Went on a shopping spree. Maxed every single credit card out. Creditors was calling me all day long. They were calling me and stuff. So we got to work out some things to get it together. So my credit went down to 4 something. It was like 400 and some points. So, and then we went to JD Byrider. That place, if anybody know about JD Byrider, is very bad. They take out of your check, and the interest is so high you would never be able to pay that car back. And you're paying a note every week. I think every time you get paid, whether it's every week or every 2 weeks, they're taking out money for a car note. So the interest is really, really high. And then we had a Ford Focus, no, a Ford Toyota, or Ford Terra, something like it. It was a Ford, and it was leaking. I remember I had to put water in the tank, to cool it down. And that's when I was picking up Jaquez when we was working at Park Place of Elmhurst. So we were in debt. And so, couldn't file Chapter 7 again. So I worked with some stuff and got on YouTube and started helping people start helping me with credit. So now my score is almost up to 600 points. But it was a lot. It was a lot of credit collections on there. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. No evictions, though, but a lot of repossessions. And we got a couple of those things off our credit. The bankruptcy fell off of it because it's been 9 years, since almost 10 years since we filed. Since it was discharged, but nothing is erased. I mean, it's public record. You get the court documents, and you will see that that we filed bankruptcy. We were in debt. We currently still in debt today. It's not as serious. Nothing is getting garnished out of my check, thank God. Currently, we are in this amount of debt. Give me a quick second. We will name the debt that we're in. Give me 1 second. We were named the debt. I was young, foolish, and I didn't know. I didn't know about the importance of credit and paying bills on time. I didn't know. I was foolish. I was getting stuff that I couldn't afford. I never had nobody to co-sign because their credit was bad. So I couldn't let nobody co-sign with me with a car because everybody's credit was bad. So I was everybody that I knew in my family, all their credit was bad. Nobody had good credit. So everybody had bad credit in my immediate family at that time. Some of them are doing better now, but I'm talking about back then. So now we're in about $50,000 in debt. We're in about $50,000 in debt, $50,318 in debt. We have currently right now on our credit report, because we're pulling it right now, we have about 2 collections on our credit report. Give me a second if I can pull up the credit report. 1 second, I can just let y'all know this. Give me a quick second here, because we're in about $50,000 in debt. It used to be higher than that, but they canceled some stuff off of there. But we have about 2 collections. Wait a minute. I don't see it. We got 2 collections on our credit. No, I'm sorry. It's down to 1 collection on our credit. So, but most of it is student loans. Most of it is student loan debt. If they cancel today, my debt to income will be good. My income will be more than my debt. But it's the student loans. Other than that, we had to file bankruptcy. I was uneducated. No one taught me about finance. They taught me about Jesus. They didn't teach me about credit, FO facts. They didn't teach me about any of that. They didn't teach me about credit utilization. None of that. I've learned that by trial and error. And I thank my people in my life, and that is helping me in the growth, and I'm paying bills on time and everything like that. I make sure I call and get payment plans. I don't, what I'm saying? If I close out a account, a cell phone, I pay the balance and have a clean say and don't leave it. I remember one time I would go to one phone company, don't pay, go to another one, don't pay. I remember one time I will deduct money out of my bank account, then open up another account and and then do the same thing to that bank account and mess up. In one particular bank, I can't even bank there because I'm just a bad customer. You know what I'm saying? They say I ain't gonna be able to bank there in a while. And that's better now. Now I have multiple accounts. I ain't really got that much money in there, but I never overdrawn in any of my accounts that I have. You know what I'm saying? Every account is in good standing. We're working on our credit, and by the next couple of months, we should be at a good 650 and up. Our goal by our birthday is to be house shopping for our first home in Chicago. To be a property owner, I will be my mom's child, her first son. Um, our first son, our first child to own his own property. So, that's what we do. And I will continue to talk about people's personal lives. You know what I'm saying? We're not in $4 million debt like Tasha K. But we were in debt. We were in debt. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we are doing. And we was in serious debt. We was in serious debt. Not mad at it. Anybody can file Chapter 7. Go file it. People file every day. But we were in serious debt. We shared this story. We're not filing Chapter 7 now because I don't need to. I could get stuff off my credit. I don't need to file, and why I've been stupid to do that now because I'm not in that much debt. And thanks to President Trump, no, President Biden, he want to cancel 20,000, so that'd be great. If he cancels 20,000, then that will be 50,000 minus 20. That will be 30. I will be in $30,000 of debt, so that will help free it up, and so my debt to income will be a little different. So, so we will see how that will go out, and this is when I was in my early 20s. When I had to file bankruptcy. I had to file bankruptcy when I was 23 years old. I was 23. And so when it came to that, I said it had to happen. And I knew when Tasha K, I knew for a fact when I filed bankruptcy that they asked me, do you have any judgments for like a civil judgment? Didn't have any civil judgment. No one sued me, anything like that. And so all of the debt that I had was dischargeable. Only thing that wasn't discharged is the student loan debt. If I would have did good then, I would be at a better place. But again, I didn't have the knowledge. Thank God I have it at 32, that I understand the knowledge. I understand credit. And if you do it right, it will definitely do and help you as well. You know what I'm saying? If we pour your credit, I'm sure you have more than one. So it happened. I was in bad debt. And you know what I'm saying? That's why we ain't got it. We make not that much on YouTube. We make enough to pay our rent. And once we pay our rent and our bills, that's it. That's how it goes. Many people advise me, Wiley, you need to file for disability. And I refused to file for disability. We did file for disability, apply. We were denied. Got an attorney, denied. Reapplied, denied. So according to the government, I'm not disabled. So, I'm like, according to the government, I ain't disabled at all, child. Because we tried and stopped. Well, at one point, we stopped doing YouTube to see where we went. We were denied. And people have to understand disability. You're not going to get that much from disability. So you got to work. So you're not people on disability unless you got pension plus your disability or multiple pensions and disability. You ain't getting that much of disability. Let's be clear on that. You're not thriving on disability. You're not rich on disability. But it's difficult because there's some people that are clearly is disabled and need it, but it's so hard to get it because so many people have abused the system. When you have somebody that really need it, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. So that's how it goes. And multiple rich people file bankruptcy. Donald Trump, businesses file bankruptcy a lot. A lot of companies file Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So that's what it does. I will continue. It's the tax code. And so, I mean, it's a system. It's the law. And I used the law. I needed it. And I don't regret doing it. And because it's a person that might, you know what I'm saying, do it as well. So, I don't have any tax debt. We don't owe the IRS. No debt at all with the IRS. No, we're not in no major tax debt at all. I think one particular time we owed taxes like $200 in Illinois state taxes, and we paid that $200 because the person I had doing it, they didn't do a good job, and They paid it, and now we thrive every time. So we don't even owe. That was at one time when I was about 22, 23. I was in my early 20s, and I got a letter and it said I owe Illinois $200. That was not $2 million, not 700,000, but we did owe $200 back when I was in my early 20s. So these are our finances, and there's also a public record when it comes to the bankruptcy. It is definitely public record when it's out here. And when we talk about this being public record, we have to talk about this. We have to thrive. We have to do these things because it is public record. And so once it's public, I will address it. And I don't regret redressing it. But I will say this in my close on this. We'll open up the phone lines. That people judge me for filing bankruptcy. I don't regret it. I feel like CPS, Chicago Public School, my family have failed to train me about finance. They didn't never train me about finances. The school system never trained me. And there's many people, especially our Black and brown people, they fall into this cycle of debt. And like a brother told me, you're not really truly free unless you're debt free. You know what I'm saying? You're not truly free unless you are debt free. Okay. So that's just how it goes. You're not truly free unless you're debt free. It's like you're always somebody. And so that's why I'm trying to be debt free. I'm trying to live a debt free life so I can be free to do things. You know what I'm saying? But with Tasha K, she get $4 million garnishment. You know what I'm saying? That's a very serious matter. You know what I'm saying? The people have, took our computers and items and seized property. You know, the marshal seized property. So she have a creditor of $4 million. $4 million. And so while owing $4 million, you can't even file bankruptcy that, in that type of way. And so somebody said America is in millions of dollars in debt. So so that's how that goes. So you can't compare Wiley to $50K to Tasha $4 million. They're not the same. They're not the same. About $50,000 compared to Tasha K, $4 million. There is no comparison. So you success, So that's how that was. It was $66,000, and you all can pull the documents and stuff. But we were in debt. I'm not gonna do it now because it's stupid. Because most of the chunk of that won't get wiped out in the bankruptcy. You can't wipe student loans in the bankruptcy. You can't. Not with a Chapter 7, not with any of that, because most people will do it. They will never pay their student loan. They will just file bankruptcy. So that's against the law. You can't do it. They will not discharge that. This bankruptcy judge will not discharge that debt. So it was a lot. Social Security, 2 repossessions. And so when you repossess, you have them loans. They put that on there. Repossession, 2 repossessions, Social Security, payday loans, debt. Multiple payday loans, debt. So it was a lot of debt, credit card debt that we were in. We were just in debt. So that's what it was. It really was. It was in debt. No, it was a lot. They said debt free. You are not credit worthy to 35. You all keep working on it. Thank you. Hillary, he don't have to answer no question when you haven't shown your credit report. Bankruptcy also harm anyone from obtaining a lot too. Yes. I responded to someone who had asked me a question. How is that offensive? So we will open up the phone lines. If anybody got any questions, the floor is open. Give me a second while we open up the phone lines. I did have to file bankruptcy, and it was very sad, and I really don't got it. And we will put our cash up on the screen because I don't have it now. We making ends meet. You know what I'm saying? We are ending our partnership with our apartment. One of my friends, he's thinking about taking over the lease, because we just can't afford it. And right now, my mom don't want me working a regular job. She want me to focus on my YouTube and to become a property owner. And she's allowing me to move back home. And she said, I don't have to, I would just pay utilities and just focus on saving up to become, have your property and focus on, your YouTube channel. So that's what we are doing. Right now, we're doing that. So my friend, if he get approved, they will allow him to move into the apartment that we have. So thank God for that. If he get approved, I'm not 100% because I'm not co-signed. I don't want to be on it. Let him completely be on it. If he get approved and have the apartment, everything like that, that will be great. We're gonna pay for. They're gonna shampoo the carpet for free. and then I pay to paint the apartment. Other than that, he would be able to take over from there if he get approved. But my mom said I can stay with her and focus and help her and just pay utility bills and just focus on my show, and I can do my show out of the garage and make it into a studio. And so that is what we're going to do. So that's a good deal. It's good to be home. It's a great relationship with my mother, and I'm really good helping my account with my mother. Okay, I love that as well. So my car definitely repossessed, and multiple cars repossessed and stuff like that because of the extreme debt. But we thank God that was the experience from that. But now we have a car that is paid off, thank God. But we still have that car. Many people say sell it, but my audience gave it to me. I rarely drive it, so I will sell it because I rarely drive it. And in Chicago, you don't need a car, thank God. You can take the train downtown, you don't need it. So we are definitely going to sell that vehicle. So to somebody in Texas, we're going to sell the vehicle because we don't need to drive it. And so, yeah, because we're mostly moving to group economics because of the economy. And so, yeah, a lot of people are moving together. And so I will be closing on my first home in a couple of months. So, I'm working on that, getting the credit together. So we definitely doing that as well. Um, or I might just ship it to Chicago. Who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely doing that. That's how I'm doing my shows. You haven't really seen me going back, and I'm here. Those lessons only made you a strong person. You know how to navigate your finances better. Yeah, I know how to navigate it better. I pay every bill on time and everything. And if I need a payment plan, I get a payment plan for phone bill, cable bill, payment plan. All right, payment plan. Now, I will put the number on the screen. If anybody want to call in, this is the time. Oh, that's my godfather. My niece, he got her working. If anybody want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. That is the number on the screen. As a number. Hillary want to call in, you call in. How much money come out of your pocket? Big taxpayer. Well, why y'all coming after regular folks that's filing bankruptcy? It's people that file for millions. The chat shop. Okay, that's just how it goes. Millions of dollars. If you want to call in, so I'm talking about people get discharged for millions. Like they file bankruptcy for millions. So thank y'all. Anybody want to call in really quickly? Anybody want to call in? It took me time with all my student loans to get to 780. So everyone have a story. Yes, I have a story. That's the number. But most of these people are not going to call in. They just talk. But we love them. We thank them, all the people for their massive support. That was the time. If you want to call in and show us massive support, you can by calling in and showing love. But that was a very trying time for me. Very trying time for me. Going through that experience and very trying time. Yes. Let's go to the phone lines. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, that's
I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello? Is that one in the tail? Hello? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi. What are you doing? How are you? forward to your call. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. That's
Baby, the mama trolling, the kids trolling. Hello? 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 Hi? Hello? Yeah.
Wiley. Hi, is this
Yes.
Wiley? I am a subscriber, and I wanna, I give you your prompts. I'm very proud of you for being the man that you are, and working through your illness and being a productive person. And I must admit, Wiley, sometimes I really get upset with you. Sometimes you drag the people that I like, but I have to give you a credit where credit is due. Your mother raised you right, and I applaud you for your financial, your financial decisions, and I wish you the best. And I'm able to separate not liking what you say about some people from the person, but I really do applaud you for being making an honest living, and I think that you are going to go high places. But I really want you to stop dragging the people that I like, and I want you to get better supporters. Good people would not be doing the foolishness that whoever those low lights were doing. But God bless you, Wiley.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and
Who
good luck.
do you don't like?
You mean who do I don't want you to
Like
drag?
who do you don't see it for? You talk about the people that you like. Who do you don't see it for?
Well, that's the bad thing about me, Wiley.
You said what?
I like everybody. But
Okay. So who is dragging that you like?
Well, I don't think you meant to drag them.
Who is that?
Is it okay? I say, is it okay if I really say it?
Absolutely, say the name.
Well, I just feel like with Ricky Smiley, I think, I didn't kind of like the things you said about him. And maybe.
And who is that?
Ricky Smiley, that one time.
Ricky Smiley?
Well, no, you just thought he was a
Ricky
bad father.
Smiley? That queen? That down low queen?
I never heard any of that before.
That down low queen in the closet?
Nobody.
You talking about Ricky Smiley? Ain't nobody checking for Ricky.
Nobody ever said anything like
that. That down low queen.
Riley, you stop it. He's a good man, and
you don't think he down low?
I don't know. You're the first person that ever said that.
I'm just asking you a question. You a fan of Ricky Smiley? So in the morning and listen to his show.
I love Ricky.
You get up in the morning and listen to his show.
I love Ricky Smiley. I do. I love Ricky Smiley. I do. And I think you might be listening to, gossip.
This is a gossip show.
Well, I think one day you need to retract that, because Ricky Smiley is one of my idols. But other than that, Wiley, I'm really proud of you, because not too many people, who have like bipolar mental illness can persevere, and that's what you're doing. But just, be a little bit more kinder to our hero. He is a Black hero, but God bless you, Wiley. And like I said, I do get mad at you sometimes. I really do. But you're trying to do the right thing. So that's what's important. So I have to support you.
Well, thank you so
So
very much. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you, but just be careful, with our heroes,
Thank you,
that
ma'am.
we love. Okay, bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so very much.
Okay.
Can you tell Ricky Smiley to come on the Wiley Show?
No, I
Excuse
don't.
me?
I say I would never want him to come there.
Why not? You say you a fan. Hold on, ma'am. You say you a fan of the Wiley Show. I give you a direct order. Do it.
I'm a fan of Ricky Smiley also.
Okay. If you're a fan, tell him to come on the Wiley Show.
Well, I wish he would come, but to clear up some stuff. But just
shoot him a number. Do you have his number?
If I had his number, I'm not give it to you.
You're not going to give me his number, so you're going to sit here and tell me that he's your fave and not going to get him on the air to bring him on the show?
No, I want you to apologize to him.
I will apologize to him publicly.
Okay. Well, maybe somebody will tell him that. I don't.
Can you call him right now? Do you have his number?
No, I'm not.
Excuse me?
I would not call him.
You say you can't call him, or I can?
He does a lot of stuff for the community.
Can he do stuff with me? I'm in $50,000 in debt. Can he come and do my show and I can ask him some questions?
If you want him to do your show, well, you have to say nice things about the people that you want to come on your show. That's the key of life.
Can you call him and tell him to come on the show, ma'am?
No, you've got to say nice things about people, and they will come on your show.
I'm going to say something really nice. Are you listening? Can you take this down?
Yes.
He is such an entertainer, celebrity, father, a black man, beautiful shoes, nice shoes. And I would love for him to come on the Wiley Show. Is that nice enough?
That is nice.
This is on the show.
And I know you have I know you're in social media, but if I were to give you advice, that's the key to getting people on your show. Say nice things about them, and they will come on your show and support.
Okay. You. Well, you're here now.
Okay.
You're here now, and I want to give you some homework. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Sure.
I want you to call him to tell him to come on the show. Give him my number, 972. Do you got an ink pen?
Yeah.
972-674.
It's the number.
9462. Tell him to come on the show.
Okay, but like I said, Wiley, you got to say nice things about.
You said what?
They said you catch more. You catch flies with honey.
I'm telling you, honey. All the honey in the world. I got a lot of chocolate honey. Please tell him, honey, to come on the Wiley Show so we can have a conversation. Can you do that? Can you make a promise? Can you make a promise to the audience?
I promise. But I want you to continue to flourish, and I think you telling people about your bankruptcy, I think it's a beautiful thing because it's going to encourage other people to not be ashamed of their finances.
Yes.
But just work on it. Work on your finances.
Well, can you call him and tell him to come on the show?
Okay, Wiley.
Can you call him now?
Well, you got to be nice. I'm not going to call him.
I'm a nice person.
Get the word out, but you got to say nice things about people. And I'm telling you, you're going to have so many interviews. You just could flood the airways with nice people.
Okay.
Nice
well, thank you so very much, ma'am. And like I said, you tell him to come on our show, mother. I want to interview him.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Okay, God bless you, and you keep up, encouraging people, and stop dragging the heroes.
I stopped dragging him today. Can you please get him on the line? Do you know his area code, ma'am?
Well, when I get off, I'll call my people, but I don't know why. Like, you
Okay.
take it easy.
Okay.
Take
Well,
it
tell him
easy.
to come on the show and tell Uncle Tommy to come on as well. So love you.
Okay, well, I love you too, and you keep bye. You take care.
Oh,
Bye,
don't forget
Wiley.
to donate.
Okay, Wiley.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Oh man. Okay.
Hey, Wiley, what's up?
Hey, you called?
I did. What in the world is that lady talking about? Ricky Smiley. What? Out of all the people in the world that you done talked, you done had commentary on, she said Ricky Smiley. I was like,
Now,
Ricky
we haven't talked
Smiley.
about Ricky Smiley in months.
I saw the look on your face. I was rolling. But I was calling to tell you to keep up a good job. Do what you do. The haters gonna hate, and you ain't doing something right if they don't hate. And I also wanted to say, working on your credit is excellent. That's what's going to get you that first time homeowners or whatever, that good loan, get a good interest rate, everything. So continue to work on that. And I personally want you to have Lotto on your show. I think that'll be
Yes.
excellent for the culture. And if she come on the show, she could be able to clear up some things and, set a couple of people straight and just get all the delusions out of, what I'm saying, everybody, out of everybody's head. But and to just clear up everything on what's going on, because we really only just know a little segment of it. But I'm Barty Game, but still I would love for Cardi to come on your show too. But you kind of don't be biased towards her, and I don't want you to really be. I won't want you to be biased towards her, but you do be giving her a little too much sometimes.
Who was that,
And I'll
Lotto?
be like, hold up, no, Cardi.
Oh, Cardi. Oh, okay. I was just saying she didn't a new album. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we all waiting on a new album, but it's like you be getting on a little too much. It's like everybody else, you ain't really getting on them that hard like that, but you like really really get on her about the album. It's like Megan hasn't dropped nothing yet. She will be dropping soon, hopefully too. All the girls need to just drop, and you always just really really get on Cardi, but Invasion of Privacy is still that girl. She still
I
have all those
understand that,
numbers.
but people is tired of invasion of privacy.
We are, but at the same time, she has a lot of bangers on there. We still can listen to it. It's still gonna be in rotation. I just think that it's time for a new album, but Invasion of Privacy, nobody can say that album don't slap. It does what it needs to do, and it still does what it needs to do almost 6 years later. So it is what it is. But she is trying to make sure she have this album to be as good as that one was. So, but you do be giving her a little too much, but you don't be as biased. But that lady with the Ricky Smiley situation, I just was like, is she drunk or something?
Well,
What
I
is
want
going
to
on
thank you
here?
for bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B is a person that we think that she's an amazing artist. WAP was my favorite song.
Culture reset, absolutely.
And I
Yep.
think that press. Cardi don't need no press. I love that, even though it's underrated.
I
Okay.
love that song too. And it's like that one got like low key slept on. And I'm like, Barty
Yeah,
Gang, what's
yeah,
up?
that
Wake
got stepped
up.
on.
The visual
But I
was on
like
point.
I
And
like Cardi because she's bilingual. She can speak that
hmm
Spanish rap. So, it's good. I just
and
want to do
she's
that's
real. Like
yeah.
she just all the way
All
real.
I ask from Cardi is new music. Is new music. That's it.
Yeah, but you go in on a little too much sometimes. I'm like, hold up. Slow
Yeah.
down.
But I haven't talked about her lately because she ain't been on the news. And when people don't talk about you, that means you ain't relevant.
No, that's not true. That means that she's trying to stay out of mess because the second Barty Gang Part Two, they always looking and lurking and trying to find some things instead of going to buy albums and
Yeah.
stop letting songs flop. Whatever that flop song with Kim Petras, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, she is just doing what she need to do for this album, and I appreciate when she kind of don't be online because she just she takes us off track, and it's like, yeah, you got us, you have us to go ahead and do what we need to do for you because we're your fan base. You just sit down somewhere. Like she just responds to too much stuff. I really don't like that, but yeah.
Well, thank you for being a Cardi B fan. Again, we're gonna write an open letter telling her to release a new album immediately.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming very soon. But like I say, I hope that if the girls is listening, Lotto, you need to come on here. Cardi definitely needs to come. And if you do get that Jason Lee, hopefully it's in
That
the
would be
algorithm.
great.
Hopefully he does come. He can put a little bug in Cardi ear. She comes, and then you know what I'm saying. But I think that Lotto would be good to open it up for Cardi, and then Cardi go ahead and come after Lotto. I really want Lotto to come since she's the most so-called like the one that everybody loves to hate right now. So I think that she should come first to clear up what she needs to clear up, and then Cardi come on and you know slide through and make that presence. And when I tell you, you think you hated by someone, you really gonna be hated because you have been on got that Cardi B um, interview first, and that's how it needs to be. Because when you play dirty and you play unfair, you never get.
Sorry, I have myself on mute. I think that we are definitely going to do all of that because we're going to have big
I
interviews.
see it for you.
It's going to happen
You
for
just got to
us.
keep pressing.
It's going to happen for us. We have more name recognition than we ever had. You can Google our name. We're coming up in the algorithm. People is watching us. Today is Monday. Really, really good. It's been kind of a little dry in the streets. We're going to talk about some more stuff tomorrow. Because I
Hmm.
was kind of like off schedule because I thought I was going to spend a lot of time downtown at Town Hall, I mean, in City Hall, which I did. But so tomorrow I'm kind of free. I have a free morning where I can get more information and talk and dive into that. But Cardi B haven't been relevant lately. Look,
She's
Kim has been in
very
the news.
relevant.
Look, Kim
She's
has,
very relevant.
yeah, okay, she's been relevant, but she hasn't been in the news.
She's very relevant. People still talk
Look,
about her
I
every single
understand,
day. Well, in
but
the
look,
news, but
Kim,
that's a good thing. Don't you think that's a good thing?
I
It's
think
not
so
something
too. But I
controversial because
think
the first thing,
that look Kim has been in the news lately more now, which is good. Like,
yeah, but then the first thing they'll say is, "Oh, she's doing this type of stuff for her rollout," and that's why I'm kind of glad she's kind of quiet. She needs to go ahead and just roll this album out organically and let it come out and just
okay,
give us what we
but you still
need,
have to
and
promote
then
it.
yes, she does, but like I say, any little thing, if she sneezes, the second fan base, oh, she's trying to do something now. Oh, she sneezed, so she can roll out this album. You know how they go, very delusional. So
All right, well, we thank you
it's
so very much for starting Nicki Minaj, and when she come out with her new album, we gonna listen to it on our number one show.
wait a minute, who?
I said when Cardi B come
We
out
didn't
with.
come to see you, Otis. We didn't come to see you, Otis. What happened? Sound like you said the
Oh
other
no,
lady's
I'm sorry.
name.
My mama said when Cardi when Nicki released her new album, Cardi released her, but when Cardi released her new album, we're gonna play it on my number one radio show, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yes, it will be. But anyway, keep doing what you're doing in the community and everything, and get that credit right, and hopefully it'll be. I will be back on here as soon as you get that home that you're trying to purchase. We're gonna
Yes.
manifest that. I will be back on here to congratulate you on that as
God
well.
bless you. Thank you so very much. Also, we're
Thank
gonna
you,
say
too.
thank you. We're gonna say something to the new members, SSS Notary. Also, thank you so very much, sis. We got M
All
Cole
right.
Love One. Thank you. We got Millennial Money Maker. She said that person said they were giving them debit cards, $800 on them at the border for migrants. Thank you. Here we go. God bless you and thank y'all so very much. We've been on here for about 2 hours. Little black boy, you're beautiful. Little black girl, you're enough. When times get hard, remember to put God first. Make sure y'all subscribe to the show. We will be back tomorrow for a live early. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We was behind schedule on the website because I was so busy with City Hall today. and one of my friends, they was in a they was running errands. But tomorrow we'll be back on our regular program. Content gonna be up, stories gonna be on the site, and also too we will be back on YouTube with videos. So make sure y'all go and check it out. For those that we were at City Hall today, if you want to get into that commentary, that's video is up. Make sure y'all go check it out. Shout out to our members. I see y'all, love y'all. We will have a members only. I'm going to schedule it for Saturday. That is Memorial Day weekend. We're going to schedule it for Saturday for the Zoom. So we're going to put the Zoom information. I can't put it for YouTube because my mom going to be playing music. So I want to put it on Zoom so y'all all can be on the Zoom as well. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in. This was a great episode. Another busy day. I'm going to have to go grab me something to eat, and I will see y'all next video. Thank y'all. Subscribe. Drag me in the comments. I don't block over here. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed time. And I know y'all gonna drag me in them comments. So that's our peace.